All right, this is an optional video on how to do conversion problems with a little bit more explanation. The conversion problem we're going to look at today is 3.5 kilograms is equal to how many grams? And that's the way you should read these problems. A lot of them have this format like this, where they're asking you how many grams are in this measurement of 3.5 kilograms. Okay, so you could start with the metric staircase because we need to know how many grams are in a kilogram. And if you didn't know that, I want you to use the metric staircase in order to figure that out. So the metric staircase has all of the metric prefixes: kilo, hecta, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. And our base units are grams, meters, and liters, and they live right there in the base of our metric staircase. Okay, so if we're talking about something that's a kilogram, we know that we'd have to go up the metric staircase times 10, times 10, times 10, and 10 multiplied by itself 3 times, 10 times 10 times 10, is equal to 10 to the third is equal to 1,000. So you know that the kilo prefix means 1,000, okay? All right. If we wanted to talk about how many grams it takes to make up a kilogram, if a kilogram is 1,000 times bigger than a gram, that would mean that there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, or 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. This is your conversion factor, and you're going to use this to solve problems using dimensional analysis. Then I'll also go into how to solve this problem by just moving the decimal place back and forth, but I think that this is the best way to learn how to do conversions. Okay, so once you have this information, and sometimes this is even provided to you on the quiz, this conversion factor, what I want you to do next is to set up the problem with what you know. So the first thing that we know is 3.5 kilograms. That's what we were asked with. That's the measurement that we originally have, okay? So 3.5 divided by 1 is the same thing as 3.5, okay? Kilograms divided by 1 is also equal to a kilogram. So we're just setting this up to look like a fraction from what we know, because the next part we're going to do is actually a fraction. So we're going to set up with a little multiplication sign and another division bar. And because we want kilograms to cancel, we're going to put kilograms in the bottom of our fraction. Okay? This is the same thing as like 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1, because these things cancel. Also, kilograms divided by kilograms is also equal to 1. So these things cancel. That makes it equal to 1. You're going to see how this works in just a second here. All right, so if we put kilograms in the bottom of our conversion factor fraction here, we're going to put grams in the top because that's the only thing that's left. Okay, so grams goes up there in the top. Then we're going to put the values in for a conversion factor. So this says 1 kg, so I put the 1 down here with kilograms, and 1,000 grams. 1,000 goes up top, okay? So now we're going to rewrite this as one big fraction, so you can see how this cancels. So 3.5 kg times 1,000 g divide by 1 times 1 kg. All right, so now I want you to look at this fraction, and you should be able to see something that's in the bottom that's also in the top of the fraction. Do you see it? Yeah, it's this kilogram part. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to cancel the kilograms because of what I said before, that these things cancel because it's the same on the top as on the bottom of a fraction. Okay, so those two things will cancel, and now I'm going to rewrite with what we have left. So now we're left with 3.5 times 1,000 grams divided by 1 times 1. Well, that's great. We have grams left, and that's awesome because that's the unit we want for our conversion problem, is this grams part. Okay, so now this also tells us how to do the math. 3.5 times 1,000 is going to give us 3,500 up top, and then we have the grams. And then 1 times 1 on the bottom gives us the number 1. Awesome. Well, anything divided by itself, just like here, is still itself. So 3,500 grams divided by 1 is equal to 3,500 grams. Cool. And we know we got the answer right because our units canceled, and this is a bigger number for a smaller unit, and this is a smaller number for a bigger unit. So this makes sense because there should be more grams in each kilogram, or there's 1,000 grams in each kilogram. Okay, now to show you the way with moving the decimal place back and forth. If you wanted to start off with what you know, just like we did before, 3.5 kilograms is what we know. And we want to move the decimal place to the right. So anytime you go up on the metric staircase, you're moving the decimal place to the right. Let me get a smaller pen. Move decimal to the right as you go up the metric staircase. If you're going down on the metric staircase, the other direction, I'm going to erase these base units here for a second. If you're going down on the metric staircase, you're going to move the decimal place to the left. Okay? So we're going to try that next. So if we wanted to go from grams, which is our base unit, to kilograms, we're going to move the decimal place to the right. And we're going to add zeros as we need. So I'm just going to erase this kilograms part for now because we're going to know that our answer is in grams. Okay, so moving to the right and adding zeros as I need, I would move the decimal place 1, 2, 3 places to the right because I'm going 3 places up the metric staircase. And adding zeros as I need, I would get 3,500 grams. Awesome. Okay, that is the same answer as we got up here, so we know that we did the problem correct. Awesome, 2 ways to do it. Okay, I'd like to show you one more where we're going from